Hari Om. Good evening. A very warm welcome to all of you. Please come. Let's pray together. Asato ma sadgamaya tamaso ma jyotirgamaya mrityorma amritam gamaya sahana vavatu sahano bhunaktu sahaviryam karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Shri Chinmaya Sadgurave Namaha. O Lord, the Almighty, who also has got the divine names as Samvritaha, Sampramardanaha, to such a auspicious Almighty, together with profound Shraddha, Bhakti and Prapatti, we offer our humble salutations to seek His grace, His mercy, His blessings, His strength, His love, His compassion, His forgiveness. We beseech in Him to grant us those divine qualities of Shraddha, Bhakti, Jnana and Vairagya, only and only to understand Thy true nature. O Lord, please bless us that at the end of our lives we reach Thy holy feet. Om Tat Sat. Today we are on our Divine Discourse number 280, the 30th of April 2022. Swasti Shri Shubhakrit Nama Samvatsar, Uttarayan, Vasanta Rutu, Chaitra Mas, Krishna Paksh, Amavasya, Ashwini Nakshatra, Priti Yoge, Chatush Padakarane. On this auspicious day of Saturday and the auspicious time of the evening, we all make a firm resolve in our mind and hearts. Na ham karta, hari preranaaya, Hariprityartham. O Lord, all that is happening in our lives is only and only at your behest. It's nothing but your compassion. It's nothing but your love towards us. All such situations do occur in our lives. Circumstances, incidents, occasions, only and only to make us evolve and reach thy holy feet and escape from this ocean of births and deaths. Our humble salutations to the entire Guru Parampara. Om Tat Sat. Good evening, all of you. My apologies, I had to prepone the discourse since I had some sudden traveling plans which came up. So instead of Tuesday, we had to do it on Saturday. I do understand that it must have caused a little bit of inconvenience here and there, and I do appreciate that you all made it a point. So that shows the commitment. Thank you. Okay. Now, we'll go into a little bit of more introduction today. My point here is, as the great saying goes, if you sweat during practice, you will bleed less on the battlefield. So, a preparation for anything for that matter, if preparation is good, then you can face the challenge with much ease. So now we have to really understand what is the reason behind Lord Krishna, first of all, talking about this chapter. This is nothing but the three gunas, the three characteristics of a human personality, which we all know. But now, as you start learning, you will get a different perspective in your life. Life will become much, much more simpler for you and for the people around. Because our attitude towards life changes, our response and reaction towards the world also changes, and thereby you will be seeing that your decision making capacity will improve, and also your temperament, your reactions, all that, there will be a big change. In other words, you can call this as a chapter of human psychology. But the crux here is, Lord Krishna is trying to tell us, these three modes: Sattva, goodness; Rajas, passion; Tamas, ignorance. This is not that you don't know, you are aware of this. But now, why is it that I am going so much into detail about this? So all that we'll learn in today's session. So I'll give more of introduction, and then we will maybe at some point we'll take up verse 1. We'll start up with the shloka 1 and we'll move forward. We'll dive into the chapter. In a previous class, what did we understand? We basically got to know that this Bhagavad Gita, unlike other chapters, unlike other Puranas, unlike other sacred texts, Upanishads, this is only talking about us and us alone. You take any other Puran, it talks about a particular deity. It talks about some other power of the Parabrahman, but this is one text which completely talks about you and me. So when we start understanding ourselves, we come closer and closer to self-realization. Now as Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, he said, the goal of human life is self-realization. So which means if you have to reach self-realization, you need to understand yourself, without which nothing is possible on this path. So we got to know that Bhagavad Gita is primarily focusing on you and me. One. Second, to corroborate, yes, it is about you and me. What is our life? Our life is always we are crying about something or the other. Look at our lives. Most of the time we are disappointed with something, we are anxious about something, we are angry about something, or we are expecting something. So this is the this is the mode of how a human behavior or a human life is. So Arjuna Vishada Yoga, the sorrow chapter, or Arjuna lamenting, it starts with that, where there are three people who are lamenting. Initially, if you see, you have Arjuna, you have Duryodhana, and you also have Dhritarashtra. But why did Arjuna's lamenting or weeping become a yoga? Is because it was selfless. He was ready to give up everything. Of course, it is backed by delusion, wrong understanding, but there was complete unselfishness in his attitude. Whereas the other two were filled with pride and with selfishness. So that's the reason Arjuna's lamenting became a yoga. Now, one of the most important lessons we learned over there was Arjuna surrendered to Lord Krishna. That surrender is, one is Sharanagati, where you are surrendering. But there is another level which is the highest level of surrender, which is known as Prapatti. Highest level, where Arjuna completely surrenders. And he says, "Oh Lord," his brother-in-law, his friend, and the Almighty, he says, "Now I have completely surrendered to you. Please teach me what is appropriate for me." So when that surrender happens, even in our lives, as we know that we are always asking for something or the other, the Lord says, let it be out of that complete surrender. First thing. Second, if at all we are asking, why not ask for the highest? Highest is what? Reaching is abode. So in this way, we get that kind of a takeaway that anything in life has to be with complete surrender. And then we also understood about what is our psychology. Now, when briefly we touched based upon Sattva, Rajas and Tamas, then we gave an example of where, there is like 2 into 2 is 4, then 2 into 3 is 6, and 2 into 6 is 12. So there we compared the first set of numbers, which is 2, which is common, is to about you. And then the second, which is in the middle, is we compared it to the gunas. And the third, which is the result, we compared it to the effect. So the same person with the change in the gunas gives a different result. That's what we understood in our previous discourse. Now, to give a better example, a much more easier understandable example would be, we all have seen in our quite a few decades, I would say, back, where when in a drama theater, what they do, they have one light, and in front of that light you have a ring which has got different colors. That color paper, which is generally in a circle, which correctly encompasses the light circumference. So now you see colors of green, you see colors of red, you see colors of yellow, blue. Now, when the wheel is rotated, if red comes in front of the color, you see everything is red on the stage. If blue comes on the in front of the light, you see everything appearing as blue. So we as a person, we are like that white light. And the gunas are like the colors which you see on that wheel. So as the guna comes in front of you, the personality changes, which means the subsequent effect, what we call, you see a difference in that. So in the same way in our life also, once you get this hang of what Lord Krishna is telling us, then you will be able to, first thing you will be able to understand yourself. Oh my God, now I am in Tamogun. Let me take a few steps back and come up to higher levels and then start my transaction with the world. Otherwise, I'm going to make a mess of everything. This realization is extremely important, which we are going to learn in this chapter. So likewise, now continuing on the same example, in a much more broader sense, I would call it as another perspective. Okay. Now, the same thing, 2 into 2 equals 4, 2 into 3 equals 6, and you take 2 into 6 equals 12. Now, if you see you as a person or me as a person, my eyes, my nose, my ears, they don't change, which is the number on the left. We have that constant number, that doesn't change. Now that is known as the outside structure. Now we are comparing this to Prakriti, creation, okay? So the outside structure, physical structure, what you see is more or less the same. It's going to be the same. But the number on the extreme right, that changes multifold, which they compare it to Prakriti, which is known as the inside of a jiva. So the outside is the left-hand numbers which don't change, and the extreme right where the numbers are completely changing is the inside of a jiva. Now, how do we understand this in a much better angle is, see, science also says every 7 to 10 years time, the entire body cells, they change. The lifespan of the cells differ from, of course, part to part. See how Prakriti is changing. So like, for example, the red blood cells, 30 lakh crore of red blood cells, they change in about 4 months time. Skin, 10,000 crore cells in about 2 to 4 weeks. Then hair, they say in women it changes about 1 lakh hair follicles. They change in a period of 6 years in women and 3 years in men. Liver, about in 150 to 500 days, all the cells of the liver change. Stomach and intestine, 5 days. And there are some cells in the body which are like the eyes, the lens, they don't change. And also the neurons in the cerebral cortex, which are about 10,000 crore cells, which take care of our memory, our thought process, our language recognition, our attention, our awareness. From the birth till the death, they don't change at all. So all these minute changes happen from time to time by Prakriti and Prakriti alone, which is the inside. Now, there is something more also inside, not only the organs of the body, we have the mind. And what is happening in the mind? Important things are kama, krodha, lobha. These are the typical angles which we call as vilakshana. Now, kama is desire, which is the fundamental drive for a human race. Okay, now with desire in place, we are prosperous. Then we are also progressing in life. This desire to achieve, the desire to succeed, this is what has kept the human race all the time in action. But this desire in itself has some other effects also. What is that? It doesn't stop there. Like, if a desire is fulfilled, it is lobha, meaning it leads to greed. I want more. I like this. And I work towards getting more. And if it is unfulfilled, it turns into anger. I get angry. And if someone gets it, it turns into jealousy, matsarya. So, okay, now let's get rid of these lobha and krodha, which is greed and anger, which is all because of desire. Let's say we want to get rid of this. So to get rid of desire, how is it possible? Without desire, the mind stops functioning. In a way, you can say it is like the death of the mind. Literally, because I'm not allowing anything to enter my mind. It is like manonasha. So if mind is functioning, it is running, it is because of the desire. So mind gets that kind of that kinetic push. It gets the trajectory, the path to move or the path to function. All this is coming from one core aspect, which is the desire. Now, such a mind which is always backed by desire, how one needs to control, how one needs to face, manage, that is what the challenge is now. So this is the background which we are now trying to understand. Once we know this background, then when whatever preachings and teachings Lord Krishna is giving us, we should with that background achieve. Now we are all sadhaks. Our aim is to reach the destination. And our goals in life are not ordinary goals. We want to reach the feet of the Lord. We want self-realization. Then in such a case, how we should understand our minds. Because we know now how the mind is enveloped. So now to understand such a mind, the very important aspects discussed over here in this chapter is called as the Guna. Guna is the characteristics. Okay, so gunas are the primary cause for all the fluttering, the texture, the flavor of the mind. That's all. Because we first need to know what is Guna. Guna Traya Vibhaga Yoga, meaning these gunas are nothing but they talk about the flavor of the mind, the texture of the mind, and then the sensitivity of the mind. So in this chapter, Lord Krishna, before giving us the knowledge of his gunas, he presents to us the importance of the gunas and its effects on the Prakriti. Prakriti is the inside. The emergence of this Prakriti, Lord Krishna puts before us the various characteristics, the different temperaments, the different flavors, the different anatomy of the gunas. So for this reason, this chapter is known as Gunatraya Vibhaga Yoga, where Prakriti, none other than Maya, is predominant with these three gunas. Now, how you see how he connects the chapter 13 to 14. It's beautifully connected. So he says, I told you about Prakriti. What is inside you is Prakriti. What is outside you also is Prakriti. And this Prakriti, which is nothing other than Maya, which is the strength of Parabrahma, now this is predominant with these three gunas. Traigunya Vishayo Vedaha. So these three gunas are the foundation, or you can call them as the cause for Prakriti. In the absence of these three gunas, Prakriti would not have been this strange, or you can call it this typical or this beautiful. Prakriti appears before us in so many diverse forms, in so many strange ways, in so many beautiful and amazing ways, only and only to give us the experience to see, to enjoy, to appreciate, to wonder. And for all this, these three gunas are the primary cause. Now we understand? Such a beautiful world, such a beautiful creation. I'll explain to you also how this, not only about our planet, will go up to the entire creation later. Because unless and until we understand that, we will not know what is the power of Prakriti. So these variations, differences we see around us is humongous. Every tree is different from the other. Every snake, every fish, every bird, every animal, every mountain, every landscape. See how different they are. So even if you look at humans, 7 billion people and more. And amazing fact is, the thumb impression of all the 7 million people are completely different. Who has done this? Prakriti. Your eyes, each human eye is different from the other. So that's how this biometric and all these have been made use of technology here. So for such a difference, now why look at even twins? They may have the same appearance, but look at the level of intelligence, how they vary. Their habits, their temperaments, although they look similar, but there is a change. So now for this kind of a change in Prakriti or in this creation, it is these three gunas. So they bring in variety in the world of objects, places, people, and everything you see. So all these differences, changes, variety, from where is it all coming? And why this kind of change or difference and variety? Now he says, only because of these three gunas. Remember, he spoke about this in the second chapter. In verse 45, what did he say? He said, Traigunya Vishayo Vedaha Nistraigunyo Bhavarjuna Nirdhvando Nitya Sattvasto Niryoga Kshema Atmavan. He already gave us a hint there. He says, see, this Gita, Vedas, they deal with the three modes of material nature, the three gunas. O Arjuna, rise above the three modes of the state of the spiritual consciousness. Now, what is the spiritual consciousness? He says, you rise to a state of spiritual consciousness, meaning Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. Cross over these three and you will see another plane known as Shuddha Tattva, Shuddha Sattva. That is where you need to go. So freeing yourself from all the dualities. Dualities at the level of the body is pain and pleasure. At the level of the mind is happiness and sorrow. And at the level of intelligence is mana, apamana, is fame and being defamed. Rise above all this. Get established in that Shuddha Sattva, in that supreme truth. And without looking for any material gain or safety, be situated in the self. This is what a clear message he gives. He says, be transcendental to all of them. Be free from these dualities and anxieties. Now, if we really take these teachings to mind, imagine where there is real suffering. Because you are not in these three planes. However hot it may be outside. But if you are sitting in an AC room, you are still there in that same place. But you are sitting in a proper AC room. Now, how pleasant is it? Sometimes you are going on a hot summer in the afternoon and you are stuck in a traffic jam. Now, imagine if you have got your AC on and your nice music system is playing. What a difference it makes. You have transcended. Wherever you are, one has to transcend himself. So, one has to be established in the self. This is what Lord Krishna is saying. Traigunya Vishaya Vedaha. This. And from these three gunas, they are the reason for your anxiety, suffering, pain. You have to cross over for liberation, Arjuna. That is what he says. Okay. Now, although he said this, now in first shloka, knowing its importance, he now presents to us. He has already told us earlier, but he now once again reiterates the importance of this aspect in the very first shloka of the 14th chapter. So I'll just post this shloka for you, and then we'll recite this shloka and then understand its meaning. Shri Krishna Parabrahmane Namaha. Srimad Bhagavad Gita Atha Chaturdashodhyayah Gunatraya Vibhaga Yogaha. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Param Bhuya Pravakshami Jnananam Jnanamuttamam Yajñatva Munayas Sarve Param Siddhimito Gataha. Now, before going into the details of this shloka, something different we can see here in this particular chapter. So now in some chapters, they start with Arjuna asking a question. Like for example in chapter 12, he starts, Evam satata yuktaye bhaktastvam paryupasate. Now, but in chapter 14, Lord Krishna immediately after completing chapter 13, and what was the last shloka in chapter 13? Kshetra kshetragna yorevam antaram jnana chakshusha bhuta prakriti mokshancha ye vidur yanti te param. See now having taught us chapter 13 with this shloka, what does this shloka mean there? He says those who understand with jnana chakshu, the eye of wisdom, the difference between kshetra and kshetragna, and also who understand the wonder of liberation from Prakriti and her attributes, they reach the supreme goal, he said. This is how he concluded the chapter 13. Now, having told all about this Prakriti and her attributes, there he meant that Prakriti also means, in terms of attributes, these are the three gunas, which are the final gates to cross over Maya and reach the supreme abode. So he knows that for liberation, one needs to understand Prakriti and its three gunas, because Prakriti is incomplete without the three gunas. So, without crossing over, a jiva cannot gain mukti. So, therefore, without giving Arjuna a chance to ask a question. See, otherwise, Arjuna is there to ask a question. He starts off the 14th adhyaya. He says, Shri Bhagavan Uvacha, and he starts off with this shloka. So, now, let's get into some hardcore understanding. Self-realization. How do I connect for self-realization with this chapter? Imagine a situation. You are going in search of a person. So when you are going in search of a person, what do you need? You need to know his address. And you need to take directions when you have the address. And then whatever means you need to reach that place. Now let's say you did all this. And the person comes in front of you. Now somebody has described to you that he looks this way. So you have a clear understanding. Okay. You go to his house, you you see that the person is in front of you. Now, you ask him to reconfirm, are you Mr. So-and-so? He says yes. And in turn, what is the next question you can, when somebody asks you, are you so-and-so? You ask him, who are you? So, who are you? That person asks. And what made you to come and see me? Now at this stage, surprisingly, if at that point, imagine you go blank. You forget who you are. And the next question was, what made you come to me? You forget the reason also what you are. All along you searched for that person. And now you have forgotten the purpose of your visit, to meet that person. And at that particular address. Is this situation not very absurd? Is this situation not very funny and astonishing? Just think. You will say, of course, obviously it is. I go somewhere, I knock, I ring the doorbell, the person comes, I know it is he, but then he asks me who you are and I forget who I am and why I went there. Just like this is our situation in our real life. No wonder. It is just like that. We talk about, I know this, I did that, I studied here, I studied there, microbiology, nanophysics, astrophysics, I got so many doctorate degrees, dozen degrees, and you talk of your qualification, your experience, all that. You say, I'm a faculty in leading universities of the world, I've got highest awards to my credit, all good. But if a simple question is posed to such a person of such high caliber, who are you? You say, I don't know. You may say at first that I am so and so, I'm son of so and so, and I'm a father to so and so, husband or wife to so and so. All this you talk about your body, mind, your family status, all that, which is only illusory, not your true self. So, now when these questions come, who are you? How and why did you come onto this earth? Who sent you here? And there are some jobs. You have come here meaning you have to get certain things done. Why and how you were born to your parents only and not to others? Why you were born in a particular place and why not elsewhere? Why you were born on a specific date and how and why you will die on a specific date? How suddenly a person doing so many things suddenly stop functioning. His body goes cold, no responses, no breath, totally cut off. Actually, what are you doing here? Now, when these kind of questions, they start coming to you, is it not, don't you go blank? And believe me now, all the more it is happening. I was talking to my brother the other day. He said his friend, he went for a housewarming ceremony in Chennai. He's about 48, 50 age. He goes there to his friend's place for housewarming and he dies there. Within 5 minutes he dies. Imagine what a state it can be. This is the uncertainty of life. Now, it is like exactly when you have gone, Lord has given you this opportunity, a rare human life. You came with the right address. You came to the right place. You are at the right place and in front of the right person, but you fail to ask the right questions because you have forgotten everything. You have just come here to live for basic instincts like animals? Or have you come here to do something good for others or cause harm to yourself and to others? We don't know. We are just accumulating so many things, worldly knowledge, money, properties, land, and we are still running around and trying to get more and more. We are all doing this without our knowledge, without notice that one day we'll have to leave this world. Leaving every bit we have gained, every bit which we have accumulated, which we have hoarded is the right word, in our life. At the cost of what? Our own health, our own relationships, and again at the cost of our morals, our ethics, our personal comforts. For what? You will not be able to take even a single penny when you leave this world. There's a beautiful story to narrate this. A father who had come from a small town and he was very prosperous in a city, earned lot of wealth, lot of name, fame. Now one day, he's in his early 70s. He calls his son and he tells him, "Oh son," he wants to impart the right lessons to his son about what exactly this life is and how one should spend life for a true meaning. And money is not the only thing, because he saw that his son, even though there is so much money, he was still focused on gaining further more money and he didn't have the right focus. So he tells him, "Look, my son," he shows him a pair of Hawaii chappals. You remember earlier, and now we don't see, you had those Hawaii Bata chappals, specifically Bata Corona at that time, which was that generally it had that blue strap, which was more famous. Of course, it had other colors also. So which is worn out, and especially at the thumb, you can see there's nothing there, like it's almost touching the ground. There's a hole there. That kind of a pair of chappals, he gives it to him, and he says, "I have worked a lot with this pair of chappals. And this is extremely dear to me because whatever I have achieved wearing these chappals. So, oh son, my request to you is, when I die, please ensure that this pair of chappals are also burnt along with me." Son says, "Absolutely fine. Oh father, you have a wish and it's my duty to fulfill your wish. Don't worry, I'll take care of it." And he properly does a vacuum pack for it, nice covering, puts it in a nice box, seals it, and he keeps it. After a few years, father passes away. Now the ceremonies are conducted. So the last journey, now everybody from their home, they are going to the crematorium. In those days, they used to literally carry, not like putting on a vehicle and taking it to the crematorium or to the burial ground. So they were carrying him. Now this boy, he is carrying that box where he had placed the chappals because he wanted to fulfill his father's last wish. They reach the crematorium and all the final rites are done. The son had to go around the father's dead body. He did that. He broke the pot, and when he was about to set fire to the body, he removes that box. Everybody is surprised. He said, wait. He removes the box and he places the chappals on his father's feet. Now the Purohitji objects. He says, "No. You know that, see, nothing excepting, in fact, in most of the cases, they even remove the clothes also and they cover it up with the wood. Nothing. You have seen that every bit, whatever is there, apart from the body, everything is taken out And you, this rubber chappals, you are saying, I want to put it on your father's feet. There's now a tug of war between the Panditji and the son. Exactly at that point of time, a very dear friend of the person who passed away, he comes there and he hands over a letter to the son. He says, Beta, son, your father had given me this letter to be given to you exactly at this point of time. Now, he didn't know what the letter contained. He said, when they are about to set fire to my body, you have to hand it over to my son. So the son saw the letter, and then he told, there was a message to his son. Oh son, do you see? Even this stone pair of chappals I am not able to take from this world. Why are you after money? Why are you after all these belongings? Do something good. Think of the true purpose in your life and make those necessary amendments and move forward in your life. So at that hour of grief, as it is naturally is in grief, that's Smashana Vairagya, what we call him. He is in that state, he looks at this letter and that message hit him straight deep into his heart and mind. He understood that we take nothing. So, there are so many essential things in life. You don't know, which you truly ought to know. Once these questions come before us, what happens is we all get into a kind of a blankness. All sorts of doubts start coming. And these questions are such that, you really don't get a true answer unless and until you ask the right person or read the right text. If you unfortunately get into wrong people or unrelevant people, you will get only conflicting answers. So therefore, what Lord Krishna is trying to tell us is, understand the value of this human life. I have given you this whole human life and I am waiting for you to come. I am seeing, where are you? You are going round and round after the worldly things, but I don't see you coming towards me, O son. This is one rare opportunity where, like if you have to travel abroad, you need a passport. In the same way, now to reach me, I have given you a passport, I have given you a visa, I have given you a ticket. Everything is there, but you don't seem to come towards me. So as in the last verse of 13th chapter, he said, Kshetra Kshetragnayor evam. As he said that, Antaram Jnana Chakshusha Bhuta Prakriti Mokshancha Ye Vidur Yanti Te Param. He says, with these eyes of knowledge, understand the difference between a body and the knower of the body. And that process of release from Prakriti, material nature, understand that. And Vidur Yanti Te Param. Param is that supreme destination. Reach that supreme destination. So one has to know the person, meaning you yourself first. We know so many other things in the world, but we do not know ourselves. Even if the person does not know the world, it's okay. Because how much ever you know, how much ever you achieve while departing from the world, you have to go empty-handed. So knowing this, a soul starts working in the right direction of knowing one's true self. Kshetra Kshetragnayor evam antaram jnana chakshusha. So I should start understanding the real person, who I am. That real person who is interacting in the world, who is interacting with everybody else in the world. And further, not only that, Bhuta prakriti mokshancha ye vidur yanti te param. I should also understand the diverse, varied, astonishing prakriti in this world in its true sense. Once we understand the world from experience, if I have to understand the world, I need to experience the world. So how I can get that experience? Now we are all eager to enjoy the world. How I need to experience the world. So then we come out with our bucket list. Where all to go in this world, what all to see in this world, what all to eat in this world. Now, what we need to understand here is, instead of trying to understand the world, which is Prakriti, he says first understand yourself. The moment you start understanding yourself, the entire Prakriti becomes an automatic understanding for you. So on your bucket list, what should be there? Not to travel, not to go round and round and round and round. That's of no use. It's only materialistic achievement. It says make one thing on your bucket list, not 10 things. One thing is self-realization. That's all. In the process, whatever comes, let it come. Time is limited for a jiva. The moment you are born, your countdown has started. Now in that span of time, you spend your time in understanding the world, or you're going to spend your time in understanding yourself. You have to decide. It is your purushartha, your preferred choice. So Lord Krishna tells us, if you truly understanding Prakriti is no great deal. So there is no difference between you and the Prakriti. You are Prakriti and Prakriti is you. Instead of going out into Prakriti, if one goes within, antarmukha as we say, then you can see the true you. Once you understand the true you, then you have truly understood the world. Traigunya Vishaya Vedaha Nistraigunyo Bhavarjuna Nirdvandvo Nitya Sattvastaha Niryoga Kshemam Atmavan. If you set yourself right, you have set the world right. Now if we decide you want to achieve more in the world, no problem. You can do that. It's by all means, because it's your Purushartha. But we have to remember that our life is like a hourglass, that sand hourglass, you invert it and the sand is dropping. So every year, every month, every week, every day, every hour, every minute, every second is slipping out, just like that sand. Know this and decide you want to spend time in the world, acquiring or enjoying or experiencing or seeing, knowing, tasting, or you want to go antarmukha, inwards, and achieve your true purpose of life. So all your great achievements, whatever it is, if you see in this world, they are only till you have achieved something. It could be you have invented, let's say, a great product. Only till that product exists. You have put in all your effort. You invented some product, and after a while, if the product is gone, nobody will even remember your name. Like say, before mobile we had pagers. Who remembers pagers now? It's something only history now. We had VCR, VCP, fax machine, handy cam. Where are all these now? All these inventions, those inventors who spent all their time of their life in research, nobody remembers, because that is materialistic things. But you look at the ones who spend their lives on, that is Padartha. Yadhartha means that Tattva Jnana. Like say Ramana Maharshi, Swami Vivekananda, Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, Jagat Guru Shankaracharya. Tapovan Maharaj, Swami Chinmayananda. All these people are remembered even today. And they will be remembered even in the future. Because they have dedicated their life towards that supreme truth. So when we spend our life in this Yadhartha, which is that supreme truth, you not only gain mukti, but if you are talking from the materialistic angle also, you will achieve your true purpose of life and you will be remembered also. So now we have to carefully think and design our life. Design is vinyasa. We have to design one's life. Will I work for the world or will I work for the Creator? So Lord Krishna says again and again, if you run behind the world, you will never understand your true self. But the moment you understand your true self, you will realize that supreme truth of the world also, even though you didn't make any effort to understand the world. So the Lord will now prove these points. How did you say that if I understand myself, I will understand the world? Now, as he also had earlier said in this Dakshinamurti Stotram, Vishwam Darpana Drishyamana Nagari Tulyam Nijantaragatam. He had said earlier, what is this world? It is nothing but an imagination of a human's mind. The world is a result of what? That process of the human mind which is continuously working. Think. Let's say a dam is built. How was it built? It was the result of a human mind. It first came on the drawing board. How an aeroplane was made? How did it fly? Result of the human mind. So the whole world we see is nothing but the result of the human mind in action. Its thoughts. And how does these thoughts come? They come out of a human will, which is known as sankalpa. So the world means nothing but an effect of the human's mind and human's will. Look at, we all know 50, 60 years ago, what was the world? If we had to talk to somebody 50, 100 or 500 kilometers away, you had to book a call and wait for days. All this we have seen. And if you had to go to some place, how difficult it was. There were no proper roads, no proper trains. Talking about, say, let's say 70, 80 years you look at. Even traveling was a big difficulty. So this world, if you see that change which happened, anything which improved in this world came from the human mind. So, and the human thoughts. So now these thoughts which are there in your mind, are you going to use it for the materialistic objects or are you going to use it for self-realization? This is what we need to take a call. Once we make a firm resolution, yes, there is nothing more important. I have understood. I am working for something which I already have. Is there anything more foolish than this? Once we make this resolution, make a firm mind, make that sankalp, and you start moving forward. Then you know your mind, which normally thinks of all the dustbin matters, not required, that will fall down. And it will start rising above. Because you have stopped thinking of unrelated worldly matters. You slowly start rising. Then these thoughts can create such wonderful things, a new world you will see for yourself. That is the beauty of this mind. So here Lord Krishna prepares now, he has completely prepared for us to have an objective in mind, to know where we are going, to know how we are going, and we keep continuously moving forward on the path of the goal which Lord Krishna has given us. Because it is the thoughts which can make a family or even break a family. Just look at Kaikeyi, what she did. just the day before Pattabhishekam of Sri Ram, her dearest son, so to say, somebody poisoned her mind, and the whole thing went for a toss. So one thought can completely erupt our life. So what we need to, as sadhaks, we need to be extremely careful that we don't get those kind of thoughts. That's the reason I'm talking so much about this. This is preparation. If you are not on this path at all, then what preparation? Then there is no preparation, and then whatever comes in little bits and pieces, that will not make an impact, because this is not just a free time passion or a hobby. One has to dedicate control of the mind, control of the senses, control of one's vision. All these are extremely important for us to move on this path. So keeping this in mind, we need to make that firm resolve, and with Lord Krishna's grace, we move forward and understand this gunas, enrich our life, keep our sadhana intact, and cross over the last gates of bondage, which are these three gunas. So now we will take up the first verse in much more detail in the next class, and get that perfect hang of what Lord Krishna wants to explain to us. See, our very commitment, what we have so far, is humongous, highly appreciative, because I've seen the kind of sadhana we all are doing, the commitment we have. We are trying to seek His grace and rise slowly. We are rising above. Don't worry, He will protect us. But we have to be steadfast on our path. Okay. Now we move on to Sri Vishnu Sahasranama, verse 25. Divine names today will take up 230 Samvrataha and 231 Sampramartana. Okay. Shri Krishna Arpanamastu. Let's first read the verse and then understand the meaning. Verse 25. Avartano nivrittatma samvrta sampramardanaha ahas samvatsakaro vanniranilo dharanidaraha. Avartano. Samvrata, 230 Samvrata. The one who is a witness, a silent observer of the jiva, and situated along with the jiva, the one who is the provider of Chetana Shakti to the jiva, which is to its body, mind, and senses conglomerate. He is known as Samvrataha. Now 231, Sampramardanaha. One who troubles or persecutes jivas who are sensuous, evil-minded, and who are always drowned in their cravings for the flesh, or who are drowned in low emotions and materialistic values. To such jivas, this Lord, He persecutes and troubles, meaning He troubles them in terms of disease, decay, disaster, and eventually death. So, the Lord who bestows upon you your karma, that Supreme Lord, is also known as Sampramardanaha. To such a Lord who is Samvrataha and Sampramardanaha, we offer our humble salutations and seek His grace and blessings. Now let's read the Dhanvantari mantra 3 times. Om Namo Bhagavate Mahasudarshanaya Vasudevaya Dhanvantaraye Amrutagalashahastaya Sarvabhaya Vinashaya Sarvaroga Nivaranaya Trailokyapataye Trailokyanidhaye Shri Mahavishnu Swarupa Shri Dhanvantari Swarupa Shri 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 Aushadha Chakra Narayanaya Swaha. Om Namo Bhagavate Mahasudarshanaya Vasudevaya Dhanvantaraye Amrutagalashahastaya Sarvabhaya Vinashaya Sarvaroga Nivaranaya Trailokyapataye Trailokyanidhaye Shri Mahavishnu Swarupa Shri Dhanvantari Swarupa Shri 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 Aushadha Chakra Narayanaya Swaha. Om Namo Bhagavate Mahasudarshanaya Vasudevaya Dhanvantaraye Amrutagalashahastaya Sarvabhaya Vinashaya Sarvaroga Nivaranaya Trailokyapataye Trailokyanidhaye Shri Mahavishnu Swarupa Shri Dhanvantari Swarupa Shri 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 Aushadha Chakra Narayanaya Swaha. To Lord Dhanvantari, who is none other than Lord Vishnu, we offer our humble salutations and seek His grace for a robust health to seek Thy divine grace. Now, we will move on to Sakshatkara Siddhi Yoga Dhyana with pearls of wisdom for self-realization. Please make yourself comfortable. Head, neck and spine in a straight line. Whichever part of your body is at unease, please relax that portion of the body. Make it comfortable for the next 12 minutes or so. Keep your head, neck and spine in a straight line. Now, let's take a few deep breaths. Breathe in and breathe out. Now let's start with the first level, Antarika Drishyanuvitsa Vikalpa Samadhi. Understand clearly that you are a witness of your body, a witness of your mind, and a witness of your senses. With that understanding, be immersed in yourself, observing the mind, wherein thoughts are coming in your mind. You are a pure observer, a witness of the thoughts. Without thinking or being judgmental about the thoughts, allow the thoughts to pass away. Slowly you will see the number of thoughts reducing in your mind. Now let's move to the next level. Antarika Shabdhanuvitsa Vikalpa Samadhi. Using the power of a mantra and the power of your breath, being established in the present moment, neither thinking of the past nor the future. So now in this calm state, an alpha state of your mind, let's listen to the pearls of wisdom for self-realization.
Shri Gurubhyo Namah. All the movable and immovable you see in existence is by the union of Kshetra and Kshetri. Know that the Paramatma accompanies the Atma, which is present in all beings, and understand that Atma and Paramatma are imperishable in this perishable body. Paramatma is equally present in every soul. All actions are performed by Prakriti and not the Atma. All the diverse living beings are a part of one Prakriti and are born by that one Prakriti, which is created by that one Paramatma. Such Paramatma, who does not have any beginning, who does not have any material qualities, this imperishable Paramatma Although he dwells in the body, he neither acts nor he is tainted. Just like space holds everything but does not get contaminated, same way the soul, the Atma, although pervading the entire body, does not get contaminated. Just as the sun illumines the whole universe, same way the Atma illumines the entire body. In this way, the one who perceives with eyes of knowledge this subtle difference between Kshetra, which is Vikari, Jada, momentary and destructible, and who understands Kshetrajna as Nitya, Chetana, Avikari and Avinashi. And also those who understand that all actions are performed by Prakriti will attain that supreme Parabrahman, Paramatma. Hari Om. That's it.
Now slowly transcending your body, your mind and your senses. Expand your awareness to the infinite. You are that consciousness which is enveloping the entire creation. Just be. Slowly become aware of your breath. Become aware of your body. Become aware of your senses. The place where you are seated. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Shri Chinmaya Sadgurave Namaha. Together we offer our today's Gita Jnana Yajna at the lotus feet of the Lord, and we seek His holy grace, mercy and blessings. Our humble salutations to the entire Guru Parampara. Om Tat Sat. Please rub your palm gently and lovingly. Place your palm on your eyes. Feel the warmth and slowly open your eyes.